You're watching Dante's Boxing Nation. Woo!
In the previous years, you said it doesn't interest you because you have nothing to gain and everything to lose. If he were to beat you, how damaging would that be to the Canelo brand?
He's not going to beat me. Don't worry about it. He's not going to beat me. Don't worry about it. I think this fight is gonna be in the books of the history of boxing for sure. That's for sure.
For sure, them belts coming with me. They coming home with me. I'm telling you right now.
You can see it, but
it's gonna
be difficult. You take it to your home.
I'm taking them. And ain't nothing you gonna be able to do about it come fight night.
I know Turki is in your corner,
I promise you.
But look, it's gonna be very difficult. He's gonna be so mad that day. Believe me.
I see you. I see you. You see I'm different.
I see you too.
You see I'm different than all the other ones.
No, I see you. No, you don't know different. You're nothing different.
I'm different.
Nothing different.
I'm different.
We'll see.
You're going to see.
We'll
you know it.
We'll see.
We're going to see.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? Okay, so we finally got to see what we wanted to see. A real exchange between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford with real emotion, real confidence on both sides. I believe what Canelo said in this press conference alone has gotten Mexican fans hyped up, believing even more that their guy is going to win. And Sergio Mora, he's one of those people. He said this is the essence of real confidence. Now, there's no doubt about it. He's talking about both fighters' confidence, but I believe that Sergio Mora is more happy to just see the confidence come from Canelo Alvarez after his last performance against William Scope. I feel like Sergio, as a fellow Mexican, he's basically saying, now that's the Canelo Alvarez I know. That's the type of confidence that I want to hear from Canelo. Now, when it comes to American fans, the majority of them have always been confident, feeling that Crawford is going to win this fight. Me in particular, I'm not 100% sure. I'm still on the fence. I really don't know who's going to win this fight for sure, because once again, I have never seen Terence Crawford fight at 168. Now, and I'm going to definitely be rooting for Team USA 10 toes down. Now, and I'll say this, and I'll continue to say this. If they were naturally the same weight, if Crawford wasn't moving up 2-3 weight classes and they were naturally fighting in the same weight class, 168, 160, 147, this would be a mismatch for Terence Crawford. Not only would it be considered a mismatch, but Crawford, he would stop Canelo, because any flat-footed fighter that doesn't have great foot movement, comes forward, doesn't have the best defense in the world, Terence Crawford is going to stop on an even playing field. But the dynamics are completely different in this fight because it's a handicap match, which is why I cannot tell you that Terence Crawford is going to win this fight for sure. Now, they confirmed during this press conference that Canelo Alvarez is a 5-1 favorite to beat Crawford, but those numbers slightly dropped down to 3-1. And that's because this is a handicap match. Something else that I noticed, you guys heard in that exchange, Canelo Alvarez, he actually said it. He said, I know that Turki is on your side. I know he's rooting for you, but he's going to be really, really sad that day. And he's absolutely right. Turki Alashik is definitely on Terence Crawford's side. He's been rooting for Terence Crawford. Turki Alashik, I've been telling you guys for quite some time. Turki, he made this fight for Terence Crawford. He didn't make this fight for Canelo Alvarez. He made this fight for Terence Crawford. You guys will notice when Canelo said, I know Turki is on your side, they showed Turki in the crowd. Turki has a big smile on his face. You know, the real crazy thing is outside of Omaha, where Terence Crawford is from, Turki Alashik, he is the only non-black person in the business that is passionately rooting for the American fighter to win. And just think about that. None of those non-black American old media members are going to be rooting for Terence Crawford to win this fight. And when I say none of them, I mean none of them. None of Turki's staff that works for the ring, not Mike Coppinger, not Ellie Setback, not Sean Zattel, not that Puerto Rican that works for Fight Hype. And just understand this, guys, for those of you guys who don't know, When I was living in Las Vegas, I was a part of the media. I was there in the media rooms with all of these old media members, all of these non-black old media members. And man, the stuff that they would say about these black boxers, and I'm talking about in an open, casual conversation amongst each other, was damn near worse than what the race fans say on the internet. And I gotta tell you, man, when I was first introduced to this, I was completely shocked because some of these guys tried to act like they were my friends. But as soon as we start talking boxing, oh man, the truth came out and they started to reveal themselves and they started to use all of those same talking points the race fans use. But just like I always tell you, the conversations that we have in boxing is only a microcosm of what happens outside of the sport. So that's exactly what would happen in these conversations, at least some of them. I would have these conversations with these race fans, and then it would leak out to conversations about what's going on in the country, politics, Donald Trump, Colin Kaepernick, police shootings, or something like that. And when we would talk about all of those topics, their views would still remain to be anti-black. And that's when I would completely cut their ass off and no longer associate with them. But I brought all that up just to say how crazy it is that Turki Alashik is the only one that has Terrence Crawford's best interests. And you guys have to remember, Canelo is often the fighter that all the promoters gravitate to because he is the cash cow. I mean, you guys have to look at the dichotomy. Even when it comes to other promoters like Bob Arum and Eddie Hearn, when Bob promoted Terrence Crawford, the best fighter in the world, and when he promoted Shakur Stevenson, he did not have their best interests. And what makes that situation so ironic is Arum's job is to promote his fighter. That's what he gets paid for, to make them look good. So at the end of the day, while I won't say Turki is perfect, but if we are comparing him to the majority of the other promoters, if we are comparing him to old media and the rest of the race fans, you would definitely have to admit it seems like Turki Alashik, he has a better heart. But there are pros and cons when it comes to Turki, because the problem is, I told you guys, when it comes to racism, it is a very contagious disease, very easy to become infected. And the problem with Turki is he surrounds himself with so many racists, especially in America, like all of the people he hired for The Ring magazine. You know, The Ring is not even taken seriously anymore, at least when it comes to their pound for pound list. And I don't understand why Turki doesn't step in. Turki was the one who said, I don't know what's going on over there in America, but Terrence Crawford is clearly the best fighter in the world. And he was comparing Crawford to Naoya Inoue at that time when he said it. And now that Turki has bought The Ring, he's allowing The Ring staff to completely whitewash the pound for pound list. They have literally removed every black fighter on their pound for pound list except for Terrence Crawford. And Terrence Crawford is at number 3 on the list. Comedy at its finest. And now you got Turki talking about this Tom and Jerry shit, which is a narrative that he copied from race fans, obviously. But let me tell you what I like about that. The good thing about this whole Tom and Jerry narrative is it is going to shine a brighter light on all of the non-black fighters that move around the ring, that quote unquote run just to be chased. Fighters like Israel Madrimov and Jack Catterall, and there's going to be plenty more, because once again, when you get in a ring with a power puncher who knows what he's doing, that's when you see more boxers quote unquote run in the ring, because no one wants to end up like Jen Psaki. Do you guys remember when Oscar Valdez fought against Miguel Berchelt? I remember ESPN, Joe Tessitore and the gang, they kept promoting the hell out of this fight as, oh man, 2 Mexican warriors going at it. Joe Tessitore, he kept putting extras on it saying, now these are the fights that we want to watch. These are the fights that we love, etc., right? And you know what happened? As soon as the fight started, it was some Tom and Jerry. Oscar Valdez, he decided he was going to be the boxer, move around the ring to be chased. And that was the smart thing to do, because he got a really good win without getting beat up. Marco Antonio Barrera, when he fought Nassim Hamed, he was on his Tom and Jerry. And you know why? Because when he got knocked out by Junior Jones, that's what made him completely change his entire style. After that loss, that's when he became what you guys call a runner, which attributed to him getting the biggest win of his career against Naseem Hamed at the time. Later on, Marco Antonio Barrera, he would say, because of his style change of moving in the ring, completely boxing, it has extended his professional boxing career. He said, now I can fight for many, many more years before I retire. Let me give you one more example. Ruslan Provodnikov against Lucas Matisse. You had two of the most aggressive power punchers in the same weight class fighting against each other. Everyone expected this to be complete bombs away. A head-on collision, a fight in a phone booth. But you know what it turned out to be? A Tom and Jerry fight. That's right, because Lucas Matisse, he decided this is going to be the night where he is going to move around the ring to be chased, because he did not want to get hit with those bombs by Provodnikov all night. So he decided to use a strategy called hit and not get hit. And it worked because he ended up winning the fight. There was something else at this press conference that took place that was pretty interesting. There was somewhat of an indirect exchange between Turki and Terrence Crawford when Turki was asked by the guy who was hosting the press conference, Todd Grisham, I believe it was. He asked him, he said, so what's up with the Tom and Jerry type ish? And Turki said, no more. There will be no more of it. We're going to start paying bonuses to fighters that get knockouts. Now, I'm a little disappointed with Turki's boxing knowledge, because as much as he loves the sport of boxing, Turki should know better than anyone that a lot of the knockouts that occur in the sport of boxing comes from an opponent who's moving around the ring, setting up traps, making someone run into a punch that they don't see. So if Turki is going to pay bonuses for knockouts, he's going to end up paying a lot of fighters that are moving around the ring. But anyway, so after Turki said that, then they talked to Terrence Crawford, and you know how, once again, old media does, they always ask the black boxer now, so are you going to fight? Are you going to run? What do you think about what Turki Alashik said about it? They have never asked any of these type of questions to non-black boxers that literally move around in the ring. So Todd Grisham is asking Crawford this question, and it's just offensive on so many levels, because we all know that Terrence Crawford, he doesn't move that much in the ring. The only reason he was asked this question is because of his complexion. So Crawford, he answers the question by saying, I'm not going to let nobody tell me how to fight. I'm going to do what I want to do in the ring. And that was obviously his response to Turki Alashik and everybody else who keeps talking about this no running deal. And I don't believe that Turki was ever even talking about Crawford when he said that. He was clearly talking about the Devin Haney performance, because the race fans, they were the ones that was flooding the internet, trying to discredit Devin Haney, despite the fact that it was Ryan Garcia who lost. And the reason why he lost is because he was too reluctant to let his hands go. But the reason why Devin got more backlash than anyone else on that card, because he was the main one that the race fans wanted to see lose.
Ryan all day.
Ryan all day.
Ryan all day.
Ryan for sure.
Ryan all day.
Yeah, Ryan, bro. Come on.
Ryan,
bro.
Ryan Garcia, bro.
Ryan Garcia.
Ryan Garcia, baby.
It's the King Ryan squad over here? Yeah? Okay. So what boxer on the card do you want to see get flattened the most? Oh, we got some Haney haters over here.
You see, when it comes to race fans, everything works in reverse when we're talking about black boxers. The more successful the black boxer is, the more hated he is. If Devin Haney would have knocked out Ramirez, he probably would have been hated even more. They claim they don't want to see runners, but then when Brian Norman gets one of the most vicious knockouts we've ever seen, those same fans are completely quiet. None of them are praising Brian Norman. None of them are on the internet saying, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to see. None of them are saying that. They're completely silent because they don't care how you fight. They just want to see you lose. With that being said, I'm going to finally go ahead and wrap this video up. It's pretty crazy, man, because when I planned on doing this video, it was only supposed to be about 3 or 4 minutes, but I couldn't stop talking the more I started to connect the dots. And I'm still not really finished, but we'll have to continue on another video. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, fever blisters, diabetic ulcers, this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called LO Deki Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to lodeki.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram. Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com.